Yo, 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 what's good, everybody? This is Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, and this is another episode of The Composition. And man, I don't want to go into full fledged mode on this because I need to pack up and get ready to head out of town, but I do want to say I just want to just graze through a couple of things. First thing I want to do though is say, how are you? It's Friday, Good Friday. It's amazing. Um, Other than all the mayhem that's going on, but let's try to look at some of the good. I want to drop y'all with a little nugget before I go into anything, and this is coming from Atomic Habits, and I'm gonna give y'all two little nuggets just in case some of y'all don't follow me online. Um, let's see. So the first one is this recent chapter I read on this book Atomic Habits by James Clear, and that is the ultimate way to lock in future behavior is to automate your habits. Now, y'all are gonna hear a helicopter going by. Um, so that is a super nugget that I was looking at there. Now the other one is a quote from Les Brown that I actually posted on social media, and I thought this one was really good, especially with what's going on. Let's see. What's that? Do, 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 do. Yeah, I'm just gonna look at. I think I put it on my stories. Oh yeah, it's on Facebook. All right. So the quote by Les Brown is, "There is greatness in you. It's time to do the greater work." And so there's a lot of stuff that's going on. Um, the one thing that I want to not mainly, but I want to touch base on is, you know, what is the difference between a movement and an organization? So let's go ahead and look at organization definition. I need to put on some lotion. So, an organization is an organized body of people with a particular purpose, especially a business, society, association, etc. Now, movement. So we'll do like, should I do movement? Maybe social movement. I don't know. Let's try movement. Movement. Because I just want y'all to get these exact definitions, and you can look this up too. Movement definition. Let's see. Translations, more definitions. Let's see. Okay. A group of people, this is a movement, a group of people working together to advance their shared political, social, or artistic ideas. Also, a campaign undertaken by a group of people working together. So, the reason I say that is because the other day, and I wanted to do this as far as fact based and not opinion based, because there's a podcast I put out and a video that I put out, and and it was very emotional. There was facts in it, but there was just a lot of emotions because of what was going on. And so I bring that up because we need to. I was researching. I was just like, why are people? saying that Black Lives Matters is Marxist. I'm just all like, where is this actually coming from? So first things first is I had to, you know, look up as far as the definition. I had a main idea, about what it was, but I needed to get the actual definition of it. And then I needed to see what, you know, the people were getting this stuff from. So there's the Tampa Bay Times. This was released on July 22nd of this year, and it's entitled PolitiFact is Black Lives Matter, a Marxist Movement. Now, the and see with this, even the way that they're putting this is backlash against Black Lives Matter includes branding it as Marxist. So people like Trump, people like Lauren Chin, people like Ben Shapiro, um, I feel like their confusion and what it is that they're saying when it comes to Black Lives Matter is very dangerous, because let's look up as far as what a Marxist is. So a Marxist, let's go ahead and get to the actual thing here. Okay, so here we go. So aren't sure what Marxism is, and this is on the same article. It says it was developed by 19th century German philosopher Karl Marx and is the basis for the theory of communism and socialism. Marxism envisioned the revolutionary overthrow of capitalism by the proletariat, working class people. Um, yeah, revolution, overthrow. Marxism envisioned the revolutionary overthrow of capitalism by the working class people and eventually a classless communist society. So that's from the Encyclopedia, the Britannica, and Oxford Reference say. Now, these days, Marxism usually means analyzing social change through an economic lens with the assumption that the rich and the poor should become more equal. So, in that sense, yes, one of the co founders did say in the video that um, she said that, they are, or she is, a trained Marxist. Now, understand, the co founder of the Black Lives Matter organization, which originally the organization was created back in 2013 as a retaliation, not even retaliation. It was formed in response to the 2013 acquittal of George Zimmerman, a neighborhood watch volunteer who fatally shot Trayvon Martin, an unarmed black teenager in Florida. And so the group calls its three co-founders radical black organizers. Now, here we go. Here's the thing. The Black Lives Matters organization is different than the Black Lives Matter movement. And this is where the dangerous confusion comes into place. And even as far as like, because comparing as far as to the thing. So the organization is going to work in a particular set of ways and different things like that. And this is not even to judge as far as the organization itself. But what I'm saying is that an organization has members. So you mean to tell me with all the protests that's going on globally, with people from all races and colors and genders, you mean to tell me that they're all members of an organization? Or let's go back and look at the definition of what a movement is. Or are these a group of people, all nationalities, all genders, by way of what a movement is, working together to advance their shared political, social, or artistic ideas, or a campaign undertaken by a group of people working together? Now, this is why I say this, because the Black Lives Matter movement has been going on literally ever since the inception of this country. Literally every century, every year, the people that was fighting for black lives and slavery, all races, the people that was, protesting as far as, during civil rights, understand that these are movements. Know the difference between an organization and a movement. So no, the Black Lives Matter movement is not Marxist. The movement is literally saying stop killing black people. Stop, like, that's what they're marching for. Now, when it comes to all of, people trying to say like that it's that it's the movement that is causing for the looting and everything like that, because even with that, again, we have to be very, very, very careful with the words that we use, which these people, they're not trying to be careful. They're trying to incite. They're trying to get ratings. They're trying to get, whatever it is that they want to do. So they're going to say specific things. So people like me would get upset and be like, yo, what in the world? If you do your research, the looting and stuff has not, even when we look at just places and different riots and protests that has happened throughout history, as far as like within these last 100 years or anything that goes on like that, all protests and riots, for people to sit there and to say that, oh, this is on the Black Lives Matter movement or organization, it doesn't matter. They're just putting and tying looting and destruction to this, even though data literally, they have data for this now. 90% of the protests that has been going on during the summer have been very peaceful. Very, very peaceful. So that is my issue. That's all I want to do on that. I may go into more details before, but please understand the difference between an organization and a movement. They're not the same thing. So all you people out there, Trump, Lauren Chin, Ben Shapiro, all Charles Barkley, like all these people who are tying the organization to the movement needs to stop, because y'all are putting out a very dangerous narrative. The other thing that I wanted to speak about is apparently there's some quote unquote proof that's going on, that's going around, and this is apparently from some website. I'm gonna bring it up right now. Let's see, history. Okay, so there's this website called the reportexclusive.com. And again, this is another very dangerous thing that people are doing. Shocking report leaked in Breonna Taylor death investigation shows how involved she really was. So this guy starts off. He starts off, and he released this back on August 31st. He starts off and says, an anonymous source has provided the Tanner report with new, stunning, and detailed information regarding the Breonna Taylor death case. And if you want to look this up, go for it. But I personally, just so that you can see. So apparently, it says, please click on the following link to read the report. If the report is being viewed by too many people, you may have to come back a little later. Now, when you click on this so-called evidence, it literally looks like a paper that someone typed up for their resume. There's literally no official Louisville any type of thing on here at all. And over it says tattlereport.com, and above, it says exclusive tattlereport.com. It literally, this is what this looks like. It looks like the Tatum report went on Microsoft Word and threw his logo and typed this stuff up and put it out as proof. I mean, he started off the thing saying from an anonymous source. This thing, like I said, it looks like a resume. I might, in the description of the podcast, put it, in there just so that way you could actually see. But stuff like this, and people use this as proof. There was a video that recently came out, and and within that video, there was, in the comments section, they were saying they were using this as proof. They were using this website as proof to be like, she wasn't, this, and this. Like, my thing is, this woman who did nothing is dead. Like, that is 100% fact. And instead of trying to debunk on basically, okay, no. I don't want to rise up on the emotion again. What I'm saying is that things like this are not facts, and people are spreading them as facts. People will get this. Someone like Trump would get this and be like, this is an official document. There's nothing on here that is official. There's no official stamp. It literally looks like it was typed up. Like, I could literally type this whole thing up and it will look just like this. And that's what they're using as the so-called report. Like, literally, it looks like someone, not even that, what it actually looks like, because if what it actually looks like is somebody straight up went and pulled up some stuff. It literally typed all this stuff up. Literally. Like, this stuff is not something. It's like someone compiled it. It literally looks like an ebook. I mean, I've created ebooks. Is really, there's literally no this can easily be debunked. There's a bunch of pictures that are like put in as if it was pasted on. Somebody, here's the thing, this is, no report looks like this. No official report is gonna look like you inserted a picture in a Word document and put it next to each other. Like, that's what's crazy. And so they're saying that that's proof. So it's wild. So the last thing I want to touch on today is Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. So Tory Lanez, in a weird way, broke his silence as far as what happened. Now, what's interesting is, some people. Oh man, I gotta do. I'm sitting up here like, oh man, I gotta sit up here and do the whatchamacallit. I gotta do the review on Elzai's album. But a lot of people were saying that his timing was off. You know, in the middle of this case, as far as with Breonna Taylor and everything like that, people were saying that that was not a good move. I was listening to the Breakfast Club, and they're sitting up there, saying all of this, different things. My thing is that that's not a fair thing to say when he was not the only one that dropped an album yesterday or today. So to use that particular argument as a reason why he shouldn't have dropped it, I think is not fair. Now, the issue that I have with all of this is that in music, he's telling his side of the story. I don't know what is correct. I'm not taking any sides. All I'm saying is that Megan said that he didn't do it. I mean, Megan said that he did it. And now, the first time that he's speaking, he says that he didn't do it in music form. Now, a lot of people were saying that um, he can only really talk about it through his music in like in the way that it was, because if he would have, because he has a literally a court date in October next month, and people were saying that if he would have went on live, or did a report, or things like that, that would have been used against him. I don't see how the music wouldn't be used to get him against him, but that's something I have to research on myself and just see like if there's something with that. Now, with all of that put aside, my issue is that there's a lot of healing that needs to go on, guys, between each other, as far as within our family, within black relationships, just not even, I'm not talking about love relationships or anything like that. I'm just talking about our interactions with each other. Black men to black men, black men to black women to black women. Our relationship with each other is not doing good right now. and I get it. There's a lot that's going on. We got a pandemic, we got protests, we got all of this stuff going on. Personally, I would suggest just taking a little social media break. Because the stuff that we're fighting for has we've been fighting for years, decades, centuries. So you're not going to, you could take the weekend off to not even deal with anything social media. Like, we've just been getting back to back stuff, man. Chadwick Boseman died. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stuff that is just they're still shooting black people. You just see they're just seeing this post, this article that shows the footage of a cop running over a black person with his bike. Like, I know stuff is going crazy right now. It really is. But please, 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 if not for yourself, for your family, just take a little time out. Let's breathe. You would have thought as the pad for as a with a pandemic going on that people would like kind of, step back a little bit. Let's breathe. We need a second. If you have the breath, please. That way we can actually get some stuff going on, because There's too much. There's too much. How can you actually be able? How can we, as a people, as a nation, how can we actually be able to do something if we can't? Like, there's too much emotions to be thinking straight right now. So hopefully that's not like a super downer. Like I want to be positive. I want to motivate, but I just want to set some stuff clear. Again, know the difference between the organization and the movement. It's crazy how, again, something like Marxist is a fluid, type of thing. And it's crazy that they pick the one fluid meaning out of all the out of they pick one meaning out of the fluidity and run with that. Again, stop putting the organization that was developed 2013 with the sediment, the movement that we've been fighting for since prior to that. There's a big difference. Again, right now it's called Black Lives Matter, but it's been something that's interchangeable. It doesn't matter what it is that you call it. The meaning behind it is that. And again, that doesn't mean that other lives don't matter. It doesn't mean that. Please stop saying that. Anyways, I hope y'all have a good weekend. Please just chill out if you can. I know, like, grieve, do what you need to do. But what good are we gonna be if we're, you know? So, again, this is Mr. Composition MC that writes fiction. Make sure to hit the description. Follow me on all the platforms. Make sure you go by the shop. I actually just got my t-shirts in today, so be on the lookout. Yeah. So, peace.